So some good youngsters with a lot of experience on both sides today.
Certainly are. Look, South Adelaide just for mine, and it really does come down to home ground advantage as much as anything. But players, officials, all just starting to move into position.
Also, Alex Carlotto done a really good job for South Adelaide this year in the ruck. He's an undersized ruckman, but he jumps in hard at the contest. He'll be up against Jack Emmett today.
It'll be a pivotal contest, no question about that here. SANFL Super Saturday brought to you on the digital pass. The bounce favoured Hannah, and he got a double-fisted tap down. Working out of the stoppage there is Gibbs. Takes up towards a longish half forward. Roberts going in there against Virgin. Trying to work it out now through the back half. Schwarz. Smuggling out towards Gibbs. He just pokes it up where he finds Wilkinson. Just at the top of the 50. If that gentleman in front of me could please sit down, that'd be much appreciated. And first major there too, Gibbs, great start there. They are 1 straight 6. Glenelg yet to score.
Watch South Adelaide play every game live, anywhere, anytime with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
And Chris, great work there by the South Adelaide side there, and Bryce Gibbs, I reckon he had about 3 or 4 possessions in that passage of play, so really good shot on goal by him, worked really hard forward, and South Adelaide, as we mentioned, very good through that midfield, and Gibbs in the play already.
Great start, Hannah. Carlotto getting the secondary tap, Gibbs working it again and again, puts it up now towards half forward, but cut off there by Virgin at half back now for Glenelg.
Been a good pick-up for the Tigers after crossing from North Adelaide.
Really has been very vital back there for them with his run and carry. He's caught in a bit of a journey of indecision about where to take it next, but finds Martini. Goes up where he now spots it up to Durden there at half back now for the Tigers. So just happy to play a bit of possession football in the defensive half. Durden looks to work it out long towards true centre wing. Cross trying to get a hand over the top. Ball spills out the back. Comes in out towards Broadbent, receiving that from Rose. Next link in the chain is going to be Gibbs, very busy early. Spots up something he liked in the centre of Flinders University Stadium, and it was Roberts. Pokes it further down towards Wilkinson. They're moving the ball confidently at the moment, South Adelaide. On moving on the outside there, it's Joey Haynes. Pokes him up and towards attack and gets a long lead up there from Horn. Now Horn is about 45 metres out. I reckon he's just on his distance at the moment, Grant.
Yeah, he'll need his best kick. He'll kick into whatever breeze there is, but as we saw there with the goal from Bryce Gibbs, the ball can travel. And also good to see Joey Haynes in the action again. Been a great player for South Adelaide over a number of years, having another great year this year.
Horn, 3 goals, 3 for the season, so either way he will break the deadlock in some respect. Umpire working a long, long way towards his right for a minor score. 1-1-7 now, South Adelaide. Glenelg yet to really enter their forward 50, Cole.
Yeah, it's been all the Panthers at the moment. They're winning clearances in the middle, and Eamon Wilkinson, who's might have a bit of a rinse through the hair today. He's got the blonde tips in. He's had a bit of the footy across the half-forward line.
Certainly has. Spilling through fingers there. Wrapping up at the tackle there, Rose is on Klusky, and we're going to have a ball up. Any numbers just working around the ball now for both teams. Umpire throwing it aloft wisely. Hanneth, tap down again, slips through, crosses fingers back towards Gibbs.
Brought his own footy.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? Puts it up towards a longish half forward. Spills down now. Roberts has a long, long shot, but out of bounds on the full.
There was a bit of class in that by young Roberts, just very clean below the knees. Had half an opportunity there, but he's pushed it wide, but a good start by the youngster.
Proud to bring it back in for the Tigers. And knocking it over the boundary line there is Haynes, getting over the top of Matty Allen. We're going to have a throw in.
Been a bit of an unsung hero, Joey Haynes. I'm sure he isn't to the South Adelaide supporters, but been a very good player for them across half-back.
Ranked 12th in disposals in the SANFL.
Yep.
Averaging 23.3. Certainly a third-generation South Adelaide player that really is taking the next step in the last couple of seasons. Carlotto, Hanneth, tap down. Straight towards Sampson, who's just dispossessed. Yep, umpire's called that one. So Hayden Sampson, another famous South Adelaide name. Pops him up again in towards the hot spot, just slips through Nobes' fingers, worried out of it. Pack situation of Villets, ball comes shoveling out. Sitting on the pack there is Broadbent. They're trying to work it through now through Partington. Motlop, looping handball out there was from Proud. Like to work it out towards the outer side. McBean leading in the race for the football at the moment. So good work in there from someone just to try and work him out of it. Haynes, Spears up now for South Adelaide. Leading in the race for the ball there was Wilkinson. Knocking his Glenelg opponent just over towards the boundary line. Have a ball up.
His pressure's good, Wilkinson, as well, when he's around the footy. Just his tackling, he's got some good speed, and there is some talk about clubs having a look at him for the mid-year draft as well, so no doubt he'll be looking to put in a good performance today.
Absolutely, there's a few AFL scouts wandering the ground at the moment too. No one sitting up very close to our box at the moment, Cough. Ball up again. Okay, Lotto, leapt high, got the tap down, but goes over the boundary line for a throw-in.
We mentioned Big Nobes into the side today for South Adelaide. Had a couple of games back in the reserves, kicked a lot of goals in the country areas, and 100 goal kicker, so today is probably really made for him. Nice, beautiful day here.
Snook just shoveled it off now towards Bradley. Just now working through. Leaping handball now found Virgin. Gets it back in the 1-2. Going up towards the top of the 50, or just trying to work his way over it now. Lockie Hosey, underground handball. Rose. So his teammate gives it a little bit of trouble. Spun around, got out of it just in time. Haren's been wrapped up in a tackle, and it's going to be a ball up at the top of the Glenelg 50. And Nobes, certainly a very famous name in Southern country football. Tony Nobes, absolute legend down here.
Young Daniel kicked a lot of goals.
Indeed he did. Shaw's just dispossessed. Hannah smuggles it out now towards Partington. And up and under kick and towards the 50. Dispossessed there was Schwartz. Roving it away very, very nicely there is Allen, and he has got Glenelg's first 1-6, South 117.
Watch the Bays play every game live, anywhere, anytime, with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
And that's the start the Tigers needed, the response. Good goal there to Matty Allen, and had 5 years, I think it was, over with West Coast Eagles. Didn't get a game, it was emergency a lot of times, a former Tigers junior, and he's a good player, Matty Allen, highly skilled and can take a nice mark as well, and that was a nice goal to him.
19th in the league for disposals too. Hannah, tap down. Glenelg again, work it out of the centre stoppage. I was going to land about 25 out from goal. I'll just take it there on the bounce, but none of it there is McBean, just wrapping up his South Adelaide opponent for the ball up. Ball up, McBean, K Lotto, tap down. Slip through Gibbs's fingers. K Lotto goes back in there a second time.
Throw, was it?
Yep, it was a throw.
Umpire was right there, good call. It was just a little bit of a shovel pass. And it'll be a Tigers free kick here. Will it go to Liam McBean? It might do, I think.
Now, this is just what the Tigers would like. Ball in his hands nice and early, McBean. 13-8 for the season. Lining up from straight in front again. No huge breeze to speak of. Maybe a goal, and maybe if anything it favours that end, but it's really not going to be a big influence on the kick. Liam's certainly quite happy to take his time with the kick.
Doing the laces up. But maybe he's kicked a few behinds this year, so his kicking has been a bit inconsistent.
Indeed.
This will be the one just to get him going for the day, you'd imagine.
Straight in front. 35 out. Just to give Glenelg the lead for the first time in the contest. Proud to tell you the story, folks. 2 straight Glenelg, South 117.
What a day. Gotta sweat it out. Let the pressure out. Push on. Come on. Tomorrow, bring it on. Ion 4 Hydration. Powerade.
And the Tigers there, 2 goals in a row. Liam McBean with his first. And the one thing about the Tigers, Chris, they've been so even as a forward line. You mentioned McBean with 13. Reynolds has also got 13 and Hosey was 17. So they're a really hard match-up down there just to keep them quiet for the whole day.
Absolutely. And Reynolds and Hosey have gold in every game this season too. Hannath, tap down. Horn trying to work his way through, but Brady Searles having none of that. Ball up.
Should congratulate the young man, young Searle, playing his first game today.
Indeed. Glenelg just work it again out of the stoppage. Up and towards the McBean direction. Just trying to work his way around Harenishu. Sweating on the pack there is Rose. Tries to work his way around his opposing number 8. Oh, good smother in there from Pink. McMotlop just going back in there on hands and knees. Umpires circling. I reckon he's just about seen enough and it's going to be a ball up. About 55, nearly 60 metres out from the Glenelg goal, and after it was in the south half for the first 5 minutes, it's largely been in the Glenelg half for the next 5. Partington up in a tackle, ball up. Seeing Joey Haynes out there by himself at the top of the defensive 50 for South Adelaide. Throw in. He's ready to go at it. Carlotto and Hanneth. Letter gets the tap down. Glenelg just going up and towards the top of the square. Bailey's going to stay down. Broadbent went for the fly. Kapler, oh, Bailey twisting, turning, picked the pocket beautifully for a behind.
Did everything right there. He crumbed the pack. It was Broadbent who went up, nearly got it in the second attempt, but Bailey was the first one there, just crumbing the ball and just couldn't bring it back far enough. Another first behind for the Tigers.
Broadbent brings it out, but straight into the chest there of Bridie Newman, another debutant from the Northern Territory Wanderers.
Yeah, been in really good form in the reserves.
Puts it up now towards the hot spot. Plenty of numbers flying, the hands in there also. Partington just rose it off at the stoppage for a minor score, peppering the goals in this last 7 minutes. Another minor score.
It was interesting to see Luke Reynolds there. He was about 3 deep, decided to go the punch, and that enabled the ball to come down to his teammate Luke Partington, who had that flying shot, but the Tigers just peppering the goals at the moment.
Indeed. Broadbent to bring it back in again. Bring it out again towards this grandstand side. Gee, only one man really wanted that. It was Sammy Overall. Great grab.
Long way from home. He's normally up at full forward, but that was a fantastic mark.
Spears it in towards Wilkinson. They're still at half-back now, South Adelaide, and still trailing by 7 points. Let's get the young lads on the scoreboard to correct Glenelg's score on that. Tarka. Centre wing, grandstand side. Like what he saw further up the line in the form of Kapler. Kapler. Happy just to build it up here in fits and starts. Glenelg. Punch comes in over the top. Straight into the lap there of Hosey. Glenelg just looking to work out of the back half. Had to be pinpoint it was to Curran. Curran, is it going to be 25? Yep. Just inching over the mark. That almost disadvantages Glenelg because they're away on the outer side there through Virgin. That just gives South Adelaide time just to man up and get some numbers back in defence. Curran. Taking out right in front of your commentary position. So the only person who really flew that with any conviction was Allen. Wheels around. Puts that now towards the top of the square. Reynolds waiting there at the back. Crumbing it through. Bailey's second missed shot in 2 minutes. They are hammering the goals early, Glenelg. 2-3-15. South 1-1-7.
You can see they're trying to move it in there quickly, Chris. It's good work there by Matty Allen. Took a nice mark and he's a beautiful left foot kick. Went to the top of the square and just couldn't put it through for the goal. But they're doing everything right at the moment, the Tigers.
They are. The South back line under siege in this last 6 or 7 minutes. Tarka goes back to Broadbent in the position goal square. Now it's with Sampson. 3 possessions, but they haven't actually moved the ball forward with much conviction. So this next one's going to be critical. And Glenelg have got plenty of numbers here through half forward. Sampson caught in a real journey of indecision here. He's going to have to be pinpoint and precise. Goes out towards Cross and Partington, the McGarry medalist meeting, and Cross just infringed.
Yeah, so we got him too high.
Again, out towards that outer side. Oh, strong, brave mark taken it there by Tarka. You like the way this young lad goes about things.
A few years at Geelong, back with the Panthers now.
Playing down the line south. Into wheel onto that left foot. Go up in towards the Nobes direction. Could have been held. Umpires decreed that he has. Yep. He did put the arms out to make sure they all saw it, Koff, but he'll be lining up from about 40 out.
Now, this is right up his alley here. He's a thumping kick of the footy. He's got the job today on Max Proud, so he's not going to get an easy kick, Chris, but this one here inside 50, he's a a booming kick. The distance won't be a problem. Just a bit of accuracy, and I think where he is, the footy should sort of drift a bit left to right.
3 goals, 4 for the season. He kicked 3-1 last week against the Eagles in the 2s. That's just going to drift through for the minor score. 1 goal, 2-8 South. Glenelg 2-3-15. Don't forget, folks, any round, anywhere, anytime, the SANFL Digital Pass will bring in all of the action here in season 2021 of the SANFL Statewide Super League. The man receiving it from the kick in there is Martini. Poked it up now where he finds Newman.
Made a good start in his first league game, Newman.
Certainly has. Plenty of fans in the NT will be watching. I reckon Andrew Modra will be one of them up there. Ball was about to drift over the boundary line. Glenelg just managing to keep it in now through Reynolds, Gibbs, Haynes. Works it cleverly through the stoppage. Now towards Gibbs again. Just knocked off his kick at last minute there by Pink. There's a solid mark taken there by Schwartz. So Schwartz pops him up again in towards the attacking zone. Gee, strong mark by Proud. How many times have we called that over the years?
Yeah, been a good player, no doubt about that. And Nobes is not happy. He's got a bit of a tension there.
Nobes has got a bit of the family fire to him, I would say.
But as you said, what a great mark, contested mark there. Maxi Proud.
Proud just looks to take it out to his left towards Curran. Bit of an up and under kick towards the defensive. Yes, it is, but it's with Snook. And Snook now looks up there for Bailey, backing backwards, courageous mark. I just held him up long enough to not allow Glenelg to drop too many players back there. McBean sitting at the back here all by himself, though. The one player they didn't see coming, and he'll be lining up from a very dangerous spot about 15 out.
Yeah, great work there by Darcy Bailey on that occasion. Not only did he sort of back take the courageous mark, then wheeled around, saw his teammate in Liam McBean, who's lining up for goal number 2. And as we mentioned with McBean, Reynolds and Hosey down there, very hard to stop all three.
Bean coming in, no real angle to speak of. So we're kicking from probably more like 25. Shouldn't miss this.
It's good.
3-3, 21, 2 to McBean, South 1-2-8.
Do you stay in or get out? Remain in your vehicle until help arrives. You'll be shocked by what you don't know.
And the Tigers, after South Adelaide, Chris, getting a real good early start, kicked the first goal and had a lot of the football. The Tigers are now turning that around, have kicked 3 straight goals, have got all the play. They keep peppering the goals. The ball's going inside forward 50 a lot, and they're moving the ball quickly. That's what they're doing well, and giving their forwards an opportunity.
Absolutely. South only had 1 shot in the last 13 minutes. Working it cleverly away from the stoppage there is Turner, the former West Adelaide player. Pops it up now towards Motlop. Wheeling around. Sees something he likes up in attack. Goes up, plenty of numbers flying for each other. Almost knocked each other out of the way there. Reynolds. Pack develops. Ball up, umpire circling. A throw in. Ball up, I should say.
And Reynolds, Chris, gee, flew for the ball, didn't he? He was about 3 deep and nearly got hold of it.
Doesn't mind taking a big hanger. I remember a huge one in the 2019 grand final. That really set the tone for the day. Working out of the stoppage there, Milsom. Good Flagstaff Hill product. Certainly taken high there was young Bogle. Milsom hanging from the Flaggies. Good to say they put so much time into junior development down here, South Adelaide. They're reaping the rewards in the last few years. There's a number of players here that have come up right through the system.
Which is good to see. That's, especially this day and age, hard to get recruits from interstate to your club, so if you can get them from your back door, that's the best avenue.
Absolutely. Martini just wrapped up in a tackle for a ball up right in front of your commentary position here on the SANFL Digital Pass. Chris Kendall and Central District legend Grant Coffey. Glenelg leading by 13 points, only 19 gone. Hamath, tap down, Gibbs, hands it off now towards Simpson, who works his way through traffic. Puts it up and towards the Nobes direction again. Oh,
that's a good
strong mark. Wheels around. Pops them up in towards the overall. Oh, slips through his fingers. Fitz going back there in support now for South. He's trying to work it through, but it goes through. No, not quite for a minor score, is it? No. The
idea by Nobes there, Chris, was fantastic. Just moved the ball on, but it was just out of the reach of the outstretched arms of Overall. Did everything he could to mark the footy, but the ball just spilled clear.
Boundary throw in. South would really love to nail one on the edge of time on.
Yeah, they need a goal here. Just a bit of a steadier.
Throw in. No.
In the back, isn't it? No.
Tapped, yes. The umpire's called that one. Much to Joel Cross's disappointment because he was away and saw the goals. So Hanneth to take it deep in defence now for Glenelg. Much travelled Jack Hanneth.
Coach Jack way back in the under 18s for Centrals when he was starting off. Good young lad.
Absolutely. Spent time on Freo's list, of course. Also, Carlotti just putting in towards the 50 again. Tarka just dispossessed. Did they hold on too long? Umpire says no. Work it through. Bobbling through at the bottom of the pack. Kapler just wheels around. Pops him up again in towards attack. But Curran arriving as the general in defence.
Become a really good player, hasn't he, Curran? Co-captain for the Tigers as well.
Absolutely. By hand towards Virgin. And they've undone this situation well through Newman.
They're away down the wing here.
They are. Bailey, there's numbers queuing up for them too. Bailey needs to move it on just a little bit quicker, and I reckon all of the holes have now been filled up, indicating he's still going to go long. Hardington presenting for it. Also Hosey. Former ladder couldn't quite bring it to ground. Hosey just scoops it back in a second time. Sitting over the ball there is Lonergan, and ball up.
Would have been a bit stiff then because Hosey was the one who first had it, and then he sort of gave it over to his opponent Lonergan to try to get holding the ball off him, but the umpire made the right call.
Broadbent, Wilson, cross. Banana kick up towards centre half forward. Work through at the stoppage, and is that going to be a free to Glenelg? Yes, it is.
Against Skinner, I think, holding on, the umpire said.
Agnew to take it. Agnew's got Allen presenting on the outer wing. That big booming left foot. Oh, strong hard taken, almost down there by Lonergan. Glenelg just try to poke it in again towards the finish, but it's jumbled 30 seconds or so at the moment. Plenty of goes around the ball. Carlotto, cross. Just work it over the back half. Gee, Luxor fortunate landed straight into Sampson's lap. Up the lines further towards Tarka. Spins around. Like something he sees up the line. Agnew just trying to work his opponent out of it. Big tackle there on Roberts. We're going to have a ball up.
Good work there by young Roberts. So he knew the bodies were coming at him and he just held the ball in. Start again for the Panthers. Good attack on the ball.
Carlotto, Hanneth just scooped it out of the air and just hacks it forward. He's going to land at the top of the 50. Goes to the back here now with South Adelaide. Ends up with Haynes. Cross. Tries to go back. Oh, they've coughed that one up. And now it's with McBean, who pokes down the line and gets the mark out from Hosey. Are they going to call that it's gone out of bounds up the line? No. Mark is being paid.
Good mark by Hosey. Had a lot of pressure on him there. Lonergan was right there trying to spoil the footy, but he took a nice mark. And he'll need his best kick, though. He's on a bit of a tight angle. We're right behind it, Chris.
Pretty reliable in front of the sticks. 17 goals, 6 for the season. As we mentioned, both him and Reynolds have goaled in every match this season for Glenelg. The 23-minute mark, just to get it out to a game-high 19-point margin.
That's a good kick. Oh, drifted late.
Just at the last moment.
Looked really good off the boot, but it just drifted at the last moment.
Let off there for South Adelaide.
They've had a few chances, the Tigers. They could be about, 4 or 5 goals up.
Yeah, they could. Broadbent brings it in towards Sampson. Over the top to Schwarz at the defensive side of the centre square. Schwarz just lays out. Oh, he's looking for Carlotto originally. Numbers arrive. Glenelg now through Turner. Again in towards attack. Numbers at the back here for South Adelaide. Impeded there was Hosey. He was being blocked really at the contest. We've got to give them the free.
It was interesting because that wasn't the umpire who was in charge of the play. The umpire, there was one umpire right there, thought it was okay, but another umpire had a different view of it and said he was being held onto. And Hosey, who made a fair effort of his last shot on goal, should kick this from straight in front from about 30 out.
Just beware the commentators curse, Grant Coffey. We've all at some stage talked a player into missing these shots.
Yeah. Sometimes we've even written them down already. Oh, we've done it.
We have. Rotten place for a post if you're a Glenelg fan, as Grant Coffey claims another scalp early in the telecast. Broadbent to bring it in.
He just hasn't flushed them with a kick at the moment, Hosey.
No, he hasn't. He's getting a look at it. That's amazing. Haynes now to Cross. Cross just chipping over the top. Looking for Wilkinson or Milsom. One needed to call the other one in, and Snook roved it away at the contest. No, free kick. It's going to go to Milsom. Interesting. Brings it in forward to Cross. Now it's with Gibbs. Back by hand towards Milsom. Puts him up again in towards the attacking 50. Plenty of numbers here now for South. Just trying to work it around Fit. Tries to snap it back and manufacture something out of nothing. And that's going to be out of bounds. So Curran will be the man to bring it back in for the Tigers.
I think it's one of the best rules the SANFL have brought in, the SANFL, over the last few years. That last touch rule works really well.
Oh, I love it. There's no ambiguity to it.
That's right.
Won't be long before the AFL bring it in, you wouldn't think. Haynes, just unusual for him. He gets a bit of the fumbles. Goes back in there to try and address the situation. He's sitting on top of young Plusky, and we're going to have a ball up. So centre wing out of side. Glenelg 3-5-23, South 1-2-8. Chris Kendall and Grant Coffey here on the SANFL digital pass. Out of that stoppage again is Park. Plays up the lines, knocked out of Summerton's hands. That's the feet there of Kapler. He's got the time to recover. Spots it up now. Sampson bringing it in board now towards K Lotto. Lotto chipping over the top to Schwarz. Getting there in fits and starts at the moment. Kapler. Sampson cruising past for the handball receive. Goes up again in towards the attack. Plenty of numbers arriving here for Glenelg, however. Virgin, who received that in there from Newman. That's going to be a free kick down the ground. Clumsy stuff, and Bailey will be the recipient. A couple of undisciplined things from South Adelaide at the wrong part of the ground. Not that there's ever a right one. Bailey just outside of his defensive 50. Out towards this grandstand side. Gee, ran a fair way. Some pole position there for Hosey. You'll think, great mark! Great mark! Glenelg just mistimed it ever so slightly. Hosey goes up long and direct, up looking for McBean. Summerton at the back of the pack. Be happy enough to see that one over the boundary line, South Adelaide.
Yeah, because Lonergan, he was up and down, and Hosey just stayed his ground and just judged the ball really well, and Fly took a nice mark.
It's much like one like Louis Hinder a couple of weeks back at North Adelaide. Everyone flew around him. He stayed down and just took it the one arm. Fresh off 8 goals, of course, last week against West Adelaide. Hinder throw in. Race going at it. Slips through Schwarz's fingers. Gibbs dispossessed. Holding the ball. He had prior opportunity. You don't want to take on Marlon Motlop in those situations. That's probably Gibbs' first error of the day. And Motlop will be lining up now from about 45 out.
The problem for the Tigers is these set shots that they're missing. 3 goals 5 really should be 5 goals 3, and then you've really got the game under your control. But the way that it is at the moment, you've still left the door open for South Adelaide, who'll get the bit of the breeze in the next quarter.
Motlop has got 5 goals 9 for the season too. Picked up the 1 vote when these teams been in round 3 last season. Motlop comes in.
It's good.
First to Motlop, 4th to Glenelg. They are now out to a 21-point lead.
Just stay inside, mate.
How close is too close? Stay 10 metres away from downed power lines. You'll be shocked by what you don't know.
And the Tigers just get a bit of reward there. Goal number 4, first one to Motlop, who's been really busy inside the forward 50. Just his defensive work's really good. Works well with the tools for the Tigers. And just getting a bit of a mini break now.
Indeed. Back in the centre. Oh, gee. Carlo went very early. Hanneth stayed down, tried to get it away. The no advantage is free or paid, and out towards Bailey. So they're looking for the free and or advantage, got neither, and now Bailey will be lining up.
Yeah, and the problem is for South Adelaide at the moment with K Lotto, because he's an undersized ruckman, what he tries to do is jump early.
Yep.
And Jack Hanneth there knew that and just stepped around him, was able to get the clearance. And here we are, the Tigers, and Darcy Bailey's been very busy and hasn't kicked the goals. I think he's kicked 2 behinds, but this may be his first one.
So Bailey coming in 4-6 for the season so far. Crosses the 50. And he has nailed it right on the quarter time siren, which shows Glenelg 5-5-35 leading South Adelaide 1 goal to 8. Goal kickers in that turn, Liam McBean, 2 singles to Marlon, Motlop, Bailey and Allen. And for South Adelaide, Bryce Gibbs got their first major inside the first 30 seconds. Grant Coffey, very entertaining, free-flowing opening half in the last 20 minutes, largely on Glenelg's terms.
Yeah, well, you expect it maybe because they've got a bit of a breeze, but South Adelaide got off to a flying start. We mentioned Bryce Gibbs had about 4 touches in the first passage of play. He's ended up with 11 touches and a goal for the quarter, so he's been really impressive for them.
And for South Adelaide, Gibbs has had 11, Cross 8, Haynes 8 and Hayden Sampson 7.
And you mentioned Brett Turner in the call. They found a bit of a player there. He crossed from West Adelaide, as you mentioned, had 7 touches. Pretty impressive in that first quarter.
Certainly has been. He takes some of the pressure off in that contested situation from Matty Snook there as well. So certainly finding plenty of the ball as well. As all the readiness to start this second term here at Flinders University Stadium. With Glenelg leading by 27 points. Umpire hurls it into the turf. Tap down. Trying to work it through now through Horn. Just slips through his fingers. Ball still in dispute here. No one's got a real clear possession at this stage. Martini just grabs it and ducks his head into the pack. Ball up.
Tarka there once again. Had a pretty good start. He'll be looking to try to hit the scoreboard this quarter.
Has been. He's been one of those ones that is cruising past for the receive and trying to find it. Horn dispossesses. He tried to get rid of it. Curran works it calmly and coolly out of the back half now for the Tigers.
Yeah, good hands there to get away from the contest, the Tigers.
Pink just tried to get the fist in and got the handball away after dispossessing Rose. Now it comes smuggling out. Summerton was leading in it. Motlop disposed of it. Broadbent brings in board now towards Schwarz. Gibbs looping handball over the top, look for and found Haran. Now they've got a bit of time and space to move South Adelaide. Going up in towards the Nobes direction, straight into his lap. He is certainly presenting, no question about that, Grant Coffey, but he's being put into those pockets now for the shots.
That's right. So, but where he is at the moment, you'll still see a fair bit of the goals. And the one thing that's obvious to me in the one-on-one contest, even against Max Proud, who's an experienced campaigner, he's going to be pretty hard to stop. Very strong in the body. He's tall, he's 200 centimetres. So he's a big marking target.
But the ideal start for the Panthers.
Looks all right, I think. Yep.
We knows what the sticks are. 2-2-14. South Adelaide Glenelg 5-5-35. Margin back to 21 points.
Watch South Adelaide play every game live, anywhere, anytime with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
Just the start. The Panthers needed, Chris, 4 big Nobes to get the first goal of this second quarter. And the big man is taken to a couple of nice marks already today. Wearing the number 62 jumper.
Made famous by Jake Vader all those years around out here. Ball up, back in the centre. Gibbs, he's wrapped up on a tackle straight away and not going too far in an enormous hurry thanks to Brady Searle's tackle. Ball up. We'll get a shot seen up there on the hill. It is absolutely packed to the rafters up there on the hill at the moment. What a fantastic sight this is for the SANFL. Top versus second and a massive crowd out here at Noarlunga.
Good handball.
Goal just comes spinning out. South Adelaide up again in towards the hot spot. Nobes flew. Curran got the handball away into the Newman direction. That's been smothered. Newman goes back in there a second time. Could have been taken high, I reckon. Umpire disagrees. Snook spun around. Curran. Proud just tries to work it away from the danger zone. Ball's in dispute here at half forward for South Adelaide. Partington dispossessed. Sampson going in there on hands and knees. It's bobbling around like pinball in there at the moment. We're going to have a ball up 50 out from the south goal.
Yeah, you can see the intensity for South Adelaide certainly lifted. Wilkinson around the footy. They've got Tarka down there as well. Sampson's been really good, got a lot of the football. So the intensity's lift for the South Adelaide team.
Hanath. Partington. Handball received there from Park. Partington just looks to square it up towards centre half back. Oh, strong mark by Pink. I reckon that's his first grab today.
Yep.
He takes it at half back, spending time on the Sydney Swans list. worked out what he saw at the lines there in the form of Searle. And 25 running into the zone, but look at it.
I think it might have been against Nick Swartz.
Correct. So Searle.
It's one of those things, you can actually get caught there. You're already in that area and sometimes you're just trying to get out of there.
Snook unloads.
Oh, good mark.
Right onto the lap there of Joe Haynes. Last line of defence. Oh, setting it up now for a contest. Numbers arriving now for the Tigers, looking to wheel around. Snook. Hands off now towards Motlop. Puts out the don't argue and sends them again in towards attack the Tigers. Strong mark. Again taken on the last line of defence here by Haran. To work out of the back half again now, South Adelaide. K Lotto takes a strong mark there in front of Curran. And then cruising past in Tarka. He's looking there for cross, knocked out of his hands. Ball's in dispute. Martini relieving for Glenelg. Now it's with Motlop. Looping handball over the top, sought and found Snook. Now they've got numbers on the other side. Turner. He's right towards the feet there of McBean. It was only about half a foot too low. It was in dispute here again. Lanerigan. McBean picks the pocket. Hosey has a snap and working back around. No, minor score.
Some good handball by the Tigers just to find a bit of open space. Another one there by Liam McBean. Got it over to Hosey and he just couldn't wheel it around enough on the right boot. And he's had a few shots on goal today, Lockie Hosey already.
Certainly has. Lanerigan off to Gibbs. Quick transition here by South Adelaide.
Here we go.
That ball just needs to set up out here for Horn. Working his way around. Like what he saw there at centre-half forward and Wilkinson. Set him a bit of a task there because plenty of Tigers have arrived to force the contest. Martini and Gibbs lock it up. Ball up, 40 out from the south goal. Glenelg leading by 22 points at the moment. It's nearly 6 minutes gone here for the digital pass. Wilkinson ridden into the turf. Was there prior opportunity? Yes, there was. Big tackle from Martini. He took a few steps forward. I reckon there's your opportunity there, so you can't really disagree about that one too much, South Adelaide fans. Martini chips down to Curran.
Just got up limping. Might have just tweaked the ankle a bit, Wilkinson, when he went to ground then. Hopefully he's okay.
Curran elects to play on. Goes out again out towards the outer side. Spills off the pack towards Haynes, who just hacks it back in from whence it came. Plenty of numbers flying for it. Nobes is calling for the free while plays going on around him. Fit dispossessed. Tigers hacking it away. As Wilkinson's still down there, so they're essentially one down there in the contest.
He's no good at the moment.
No, he's not.
Hobbling.
Brings it back in now. It's taken by Bogle.
No, he's going to have to come off.
Get it in there nice and quick. Curran arrives at the fall of the ball. They're working out again through the back half where it's now with Bailey. Lovely pass there from Allen. As Wilkinson is coming off the ground.
Yeah, and that's not what you need when you're sort of trying to put your name up for the mid-year draft to get an ankle injury.
Certainly not. Pink got the fist in. That was clever. Ball's still in dispute. South Adelaide again going up towards half forward onto the lap there of Fit. Now he's 60 out. He's got to try and find something loose. It's Tarka. Oh, gee, half a foot too short. Proud arrives to take the crumbs. Brings in Borgie. Reynolds certainly taken high. Oh, umpire's letting that one go. Kapler. Now he was surely holding the ball then. Yep. So the umpire kind of arrested the confusion from the first non-decision.
Oh,
he's
turnover.
Straight up. Comedy of errors in the last 30 seconds. Numbers flying. They're not looking to work out of the back half now through Newman to Virgin. Now Virgin's got a bit of time and space to move, and he's got three options in front of him. Which one does he pick? Goes towards Bradley. Been fairly quiet down on his normal numbers today. Half-back grandstand side, Glenelg by 22 points. Brings it inboard to Virgin. Not 15, says the umpire. Back to Bradley he goes. Plenty of numbers there for South Adelaide. Skinner was the first. Now it's with Broadbent. Chips in towards the centre. Horn's got a bit of time and space here once he takes the grab.
Just going inside forward 50, they need to tidy up the Panthers.
Milsom goes out where he looks towards overall. Oh! Landed off his fingers. Goes for the snap and addresses the situation quickly. 3-2, 20 South Adelaide, Glenelg 5-6, 36.
Watch the Bays play every game live, anywhere, anytime, with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
And another goal there to South Adelaide. And just a bit of a number of errors from both sides, a couple of turnovers. And Sam Overall looked like he was going to take the easiest of marks, Chris, and go back and slot that, but he dropped the chest mark. Sometimes you can do that when you're thinking about kicking the goal, but he had enough time to pick the ball up, wheel around on that right foot and kick his first goal. And South Adelaide got off to a really good start in this second quarter, 2 goals already.
Was that something that happened to you much, Coff?
It is. I actually happened to be at Adelaide Oval one day and Curls dropped me the next week.
Working off the back half, now it's Broadbent. Gets it back into 1-2 with Carlotto. Breaking the lines. This is what they got him out here for. Goes up in towards attack.
Oh.
Plenty of numbers flying for it. Needs to go at the back for Fett. Bruising tackle there by Agnew. That's brilliant stuff there from the defender.
It was good work by Nobes as well, because it took 2 of them to actually stop him in the marking contest there, and that's where they just need to get the crummers around him, because he'll bring the ball to ground if he can't mark it.
Nobes happy enough to knock it over for a rush behind. 3-3-21, Glenelg 5-6-36, 15 points now at the nearly 10-minute mark. I'd like to have seen Curls' face when you did that. I must admit, that would have been one for the ages.
Yeah, I think I still kicked 3 for the day, but he said, no, you can't do that, and he made me sit a week in the reserves. Thank you very much.
Not the first and certainly not the last. There's Durden to bring it back in for Glenelg. Going out again towards the outer side. Bailey stayed down. Hannah tapped down clever.
Yeah, no,
it's
a free kick
Yep.
to Carlotto. He was, he went up. They sort of said it was tunnelling, I think, pushed him under the footy.
Carlotto brings it in board towards Horn. Had to be precise, but he was good enough to recover on the bounce.
Here, no.
Goes up towards Cross, knocked out of his fingers. Bogle arrives. Goes up again in towards attack. It was a real nothing sort of kick. The only player who really was able to take it was Newman. Spotting up a teammate there in the back half, who now finds Virgin. Virgin crossing back to Agnew, who saved an almost certain goal a minute ago. Agnew going short to Callum Park.
Newman a bit slow getting up behind play as well. He's done his shoulder by the look of it.
I reckon he has too, yep. The way he's holding that, I can speak from personal experience when I was playing. That's not a good look.
Hopefully he hasn't broken his collarbone.
Reynolds. Heard a voice there of Turner. Cross arrives as the cavalry. These are the sorts of moments that Joel Cross has made for. He spots up Nobes.
Yeah, well done.
Class comes to the fore. He's rising 34-35, nearly Joel Cross. But that was just wonderful stuff in finding Nobes.
Yeah, he was a bit quieter in the first quarter than what we're used to, but he's starting to work his way into the game there. And they've just tidied up their entries into the forward 50. And it was good to see Nobes on that occasion leading at the footy. He sort of had the ball kicked on the top of his head most occasions, but that one there looked really good.
Searching for his second. Oh, that is an up-country mongrel punt. Be very careful, CK, and it goes back in for Glenelg.
Yeah, he sort of got under that, and it sort of veered off the side of the boot.
Agnew.
We'll just keep an eye on Newman for the Tigers. He's gone off in his first game. Might be a bit of a collarbone issue there. Hopefully he's okay. Oh, the big man keeps going.
He does. He had his hands written all over that. Problem is he really needed himself back there to receive it, and Curran picks it off in defence now for Glenelg. Goes out into the halfback where he spots up Bradley, who's called to play on. Hasn't heard it yet. He's going to have to go back from whence it came. Curran cool on the crisis, the doctor. Underground handball. Searched for and found Allen. Now it's with Bradley. He goes back inboard towards Motlop. Motlop twisting, turning. This is all by hand. The more handballs you go, the more likely the turnover is, and Schwarz makes them pay. Puts it up in towards the hot spot. Nobes again went for the flight. Ball just comes, it's spilling out. It's going to end up there with Fido, puts out the don't argue, dispossessed in the contest. Agnew hacks it away from the danger zone, fairly temporarily. Ball still in dispute here, about 60 out from the South Adelaide goal. Plenty of numbers arriving in the contest, and we're going to have a ball up. South 3-3-21, trailing Glenelg 5-6-36 here on the SANFL Digital Pass. Any round, anywhere, anytime, folks. SANFLdigitalpass.com.au, bringing you all the action here from Flinders University Stadium. South Adelaide again punched out of Overall's fingers. Tarka rows it away at the stoppage and bangs it home for South.
What a day. Gotta sweat it out. Let the pressure out. Push on. Come on. Tomorrow, bring it on. Ion 4 hydration.
South Adelaide
Powerade.
kicking the first 3 goals of this second quarter, and it was Tarka there kicking his first goal. He's been busy, Chris, in that forward line. His pressure's been good. He's pushed up the ground a bit as well. But on that occasion, he made it his own, wheeled onto that left foot. He's a beautiful left foot kick and kicks his first goal. And both the ruckmen look like they're going to have a spell. So now we've got McBean and also Skinner in there for their respective sides.
Both teams are one down at the moment too. Newman for Glenelg and Wilkinson for South Adelaide have both been on the bench for an extended time now. Schwarz works it away from the stoppage. It's up now towards centre half forward. Lands in the lap there of Tarka. Surely not 2 and 30 seconds. Oh no! Minus score. And you can see Brett Hand is just going to be keeping an eye on that one for the next few minutes for the matchup. Glenelg. So they bring it back in through Durden.
Oh, that's nearly gone out.
Just about. Curran just stretched the fingertips up in time. So Curran, but he should take 10 seconds or so just to let things reset a bit. He's looking out there for McBean. Getting the hand in there with Skinner to see it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Well, hugging that boundary line, that kick there just about went out as well, but must have stayed in by a couple of inches.
Yeah. Rolling the dice at the moment, Glenelg, and they're just falling their way at the moment. But as you know, with that sort of stuff, you've got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, Cough.
Yep.
Throw in. McBean. Gibbs. Looping handball. Searching for Sampson and finds him. Kick smothered. Good work in here from the Tigers, and they should be able to get them now on the overlap through Turner. Goes up now towards Partington, spending a bit of time up forward. Wheeling around. He's looking up there for Pink initially. One Aragon, just happy enough to see it through from Monash. No, it has stayed in, and Toby Pink gets his first.
Do you stay in or get out? Remain in your vehicle until help arrives. You'll be shocked by what you don't know.
And a bit of a different goal for the Tigers, Chris, because it looked to me, I'm not sure what you saw of it, but both teams sort of gave up on it. It looked like it was going through for a behind, and it just plonked itself on the line, the ball, and the Tigers went in after it again and got the handball out to Toby Pink, kicking his first goal. So that's just the steady they needed, the Tigers.
Yeah, quick thinking there from Lockie Hosey, because you're right, Cough, for all intents and purposes, it looked like it was going out, and Hosey just saw the bounce come back at the correct moment and found Pink. So, ball's in dispute here in the centre of Flinders University Stadium. Ball up. Unable to get clear purchase again, or not really. Skinner, he's ridden into the turf and sat upon straight away. No prior, ball up.
Gibson for the Tigers there, applying the tackle, been busy again. Another few possessions already in this quarter.
Snook wrapped up there by Cross. Broadbent trying to force his way through. Now Bradley. Oh, he's going to have to get this one away now. Geez, had a long time, but was able to be given that opportunity there. Glenelg couldn't spot the tackles. Newman's back on the ground.
Yeah,
that's good to see.
Yeah, good to see.
Now it's with Sampson, who received it from Cross. He's going to go up long again in towards the Nobes direction. Plenty of numbers here for Glenelg, and Virgin working away from the stoppage with class and aplomb. Brings it out now. Now it's going to be a free kick. Now is this going to be a free kick paid down the ground? Yep, it is. And play on. Over the boundary for a throw-in. It was a free after disposal up there in the South Adelaide attack against the Panthers. So play continued. Throw-in. Glenelg leading by 14 points at the 18-minute mark. Chris Kendall and Grant Coffey bringing all the SANFL statewide Super League action here on the digital pass. Gibbs's handball was looking for Cross and found him. Puts him up now towards the top of the 50. Nobes just slipping through his fingers. Comes out now towards Martini. She better work it away now. Glenelg. Was that tunnelling there? No, umpire's letting that one go. Searle. Hanneth. Partington. Puts it up now towards the Tigers' direction. Partington staying down. Gets some support now from Motlop. Pokes them again up towards the top of the 50. It's going to be a free and advantage for Hosey, who just wheels around. And is it going to land in Bailey's lap? Yes, it is! Another goal for the Tigers.
Just stay inside, mate.
How close is too close? Stay 10 metres away from downed power lines. You'll be shocked.
Great work there by
what
the
you don't
Tigers,
know.
kicking 2 goals in a row after South Adelaide kicked the first 3 of this quarter. And there wasn't much pretty about that, Chris, but they just kept moving the ball forward, the Tigers, and it ended up with Bailey, who finished off with his second goal. So he's been very busy inside that forward 50, and Hosey involved in the play once again for the Tigers.
You take those any day of the week, Cough, when your last 2 goals were a cumulative total of about 2 metres from goal.
Yep.
That's the sort of stuff there that Jared Wright will be hammering home there at halftime. You've got to be alert even when it's on the absolute last line of defence.
Yep.
All back in the centre. Down to tick over towards time on. Bradley. Coughed it up now. Slips through Cross's fingers. Horn goes back in there a second time. He's coughed it up now towards Snook. Now it's with Sampson. Is that going to be a free? Yep. Too high there against Cross, and Snook will be the recipient. No, it's going to go to Turner. Saw something he liked out there in the form of Allen. Now Motlop. Calling for it short there is Agnew. Motlop flirted with the idea for a second, but elects to go down the lines. And straight into the lap there of Broadbent, who wheels around and finds Cross. Cross got teammate cruising past. They bring it up and towards the Nobes direction. Now it's a 3-on-1 numbers here with the Tigers, so Martini should be able to think his way through the situation, and does. Strong mark taken out here, grandstand side by young Searle on debut. Puts it back into a disputed situation. Virgin's going to have to go back there and sort it out. Searle's going to go back there and support.
Yeah, it's a free kick to Kapler, too low, where you can take the legs from under him, so he's got the free kick.
Kapler, it's a bit of an experience because Proud had gone back there to fill the hole to stop Nobes from dropping into it, and that's exactly paid off for Glenelg. Now it's with Partington. He puts it up again in towards a disputed situation. Now it's Cross, 50 out. He likes what he sees, and why shouldn't he? Wonderful stuff from the dual McGarry medalist. South Adelaide's at 5th of the day, 5-4-34. Glenelg at 7 goals, 6-48, back to a 14-point margin, 21 minutes gone.
Yeah, really good stuff there by the South Adelaide side. And we mentioned Cross was a bit quiet in that first quarter, but he's really started to work his way into this game, kicking his first goal. And you could see just the difference with that bit of breeze behind him there, Chris. That sailed from 50 metres. And as you mentioned, as soon as he kicked the ball off his boot, he was running back to the centre. He loved it off the boot.
As he should. 197 games, 160 goals for the Panthers. It's one of their absolute greats in the last 50 years. And he sits comfortably in most eras, I reckon, at the moment.
200 coming up in a few weeks, which will be a great effort.
Certainly will. Back in the centre. What a quarter of twists and turns. Slipped through Turner's fingers. Goes back in there a second time. Shovels it out now towards Partington. Looking for Motlop. Turnover develops. Turner just dispossessed. Hanneth goes back in there a second time. No way is at 10 or even 5. Kapler, he's wrapped up in a tackle, ball up.
Kapler starting to get busy as well.
Certainly is. Son of David. Tap down. Horn just laying the tackle, ball up. You would have played a bit against both the Kaplers, I reckon,
I did, yeah. They were quick, that's what I remember about them.
Darren was in the Bay Sheffield.
He was,
yeah,
he was really quick.
Comes out now towards Gibbs. Speaking of quick, Calado just hacks him up again in towards attack. Nobes just worried out of it. But on the bottom of the pack there, Durden just sits on top. Ball just comes smothering out. Panthers will be looking for a holding the ball. You won't get it with that because no one's really got it. Ball up. 40 metres out from the south goal, currently trailing by 14 points at the 23.5-minute mark. SANFL digital pass, any round, anywhere, anytime, folks. You can see the action anywhere you are in the world. And very proud to bring you the action here on Super SANFL Sunday. Top playing second. Plenty of numbers around the ball. Gibbs lays a big tackle ball up.
South would love another one here before half-time, you would imagine. Maybe another couple of minutes in this quarter. There's been a few goals scored.
They've got 2 loose on the defensive side of the stoppage at centre-half back at the moment for the turnover. Punch comes back in there. Overall. Slips it off to Tarka for 2 in the corner.
Oh, well done.
Wonderful stuff from the Crummer. That's exactly where he needs to be, front and centre. 6-4-40. Glenelg 7-6-48. It's now back to a 8-point margin, Grant Coffey.
Yeah, and it was a great fist forward for South Adelaide, that the ball was sort of hit into open play. Overall was playing in front, just took it nicely, and then the runners came for him and he gave it off there to Tarka. And we mentioned he's busy now, he's hitting the scoreboard as well. 2 goals already for the quarter. He's being a real influence up there for the Panthers.
Absolutely is. Averaging the 9 disposals this season. Had kicked 9 goals going into today.
They've got some firepower themselves, South Adelaide. We mentioned the Tigers, but with Overall, Skinner and also Nobes down there, they've got some real marking targets.
A genuine crumbing forward is perhaps one thing they did lack, but once he came back from Geelong, he's certainly filled that role so far.
And even with Wilkinson, hopefully he might be able to get back on after half-time. Hopefully it's not too serious. He looked like he went off with the rolled ankle.
Did indeed. Schwarz cut off there by Partington. Just puts Glenelg up towards centre wing. That's going to be out of bounds. Last touch, so Kapler will bring it back in. He's just waiting for something to present for him. Puts it up now towards centre wing, punched out of Skinner's hands. Cross wheeling it away from the stoppage. South Adelaide just still content to just try and hack this forward. Clever work in there from Currency. South Adelaide players been knocked out by friendly fire behind play, I reckon there. And he's still down. Turner isolates Proud.
Might be Sam Overall. It is a bit of a head clash there.
Yep. Fair bit going on behind the play there with the Glenelg play down as well. We'll keep an eye on that one. Numbers flying. McBean slipped through his fingers. Or is it going to be free? He was impeded in the marking contest.
Curran it was for the Tigers. He's up, which is good, and Overall getting to his feet. So both players okay, which is good news.
Absolutely. So McBean, as he knows it's now 26 gone, just wants to try and hold possession for the next 30 or 40 seconds. While he waits to see something presenting for them, the Tigers. Turn up. Going down those lines again, strong mark by Haynes. Just brings it inboard. Showed a fair bit of air there to young Bogle. He was able to repay the faith at centre-half back. Bogle brings it in now where it's with Milsom. Milsom likes where he saw a bit further up the lines. So Schwarz now finds Haynes, needs to set up for him and does. Nearly 27 gone. Tarka's calling for it at the top of the 50. Just hacks it forward. Staying down there was Curran. Clever work. Got it off by Nan towards Allen. Turner. And Motlop takes it out half back. Just putting the hand down to indicate let's just take a bit of juice out of it, fellas, for 30 seconds. Back to Allen. Glenelg by 8 points at the moment. 27.5 gone here on the SANFL digital pass. Chris Kendall and Grant Coffey. Fist coming over the top there from Hanath. Glenelg players certainly taken high. Not too much argument there. Kluski the man to receive it. Brings it inboard now towards Partington. Partington liked something he saw breaking off half back, but it's all in vain. As the siren sounds on a very entertaining second quarter. Glenelg 7 goals, 6-48. Leading South Adelaide 6-4-40. The goal scorers, Glenelg, McBean 2, Bailey 2, singles 2, Motlop, Allen and Pink. And for South Adelaide, 2 to Tarka, singles 2, Gibbs, Overall, Cross and Nobes. A very entertaining first half, Grant Coffey.
Yeah, really good half there by both teams. I think we're up for an absolute ripper in this second half. The Tigers just got their nose in front, but anyone's game.
Certainly is. Join us After half-time, we're going to bring in all of the second half action here on the SANFL. Hands on all of the SANFL action here in 2021. All is in readiness now to start this second half. Matt Rose playing up there at half forward. Rose has been a bit down this season on his normal numbers. He's averaging nearly 13 disposals. Has kicked a couple of goals and he's playing a high half forward at the moment. Let's see what this third quarter brings. Umpire's just waiting for everyone to clear the arena as he holds the ball off to start this third term. It's Kaylotto and Hanneth to resume hostilities. Hanneth gets a punch down. Turner leading in the race for the ball. Snoot going in their hands and knees. Ball just comes shoveling out towards the Gibbs direction. He spots it up now towards Horn. Horn takes a bounce. Looking to measure the kick into attack. Curran's in the front position. Nobes come over the back. Another player able to really get clear purchase on it. Very clever snap out of the pack there from Fit, but it's through for a minor score.
Ended up having a bit more time than what he thought. Then he sort of broke clear of the tackle and he just had a bit of time to steady, but he threw it onto that left boot and pushed it wide for South Adelaide.
Virgin brings it back in quickly where it's to with Newman, who was a bit of strife halfway through that term, but the debutant from the Northern Territory Wanderers is back on the field and he spots up Bradley.
Been pretty good too in his first game so far, Newman.
Certainly has. First game a kick to the most experienced Glenelg player there in Bradley. Now it's with Turner. Heard the voice cruising past there of Curran. Curran goes up into attack. He's trying to work his way to the front. Hands came in over the top to the umpire, and Hosey will be the man to take. No, they're trying to take advantage. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see much in that. And once again, that wasn't the umpire in charge of the play who was officiating on that. There was an umpire that had a pretty good look at it, but this umpire came in, had a different angle and decided to pay the free. But Lonergan is still sort of appealing to say that he thought it was okay, but the umpire said no. And Hosey has a shot on goal for his first.
3 behinds today. He's goaled in every game so far this season. A record he now maintains. 8-6-54 Glenelg, South 6-5-41.
Watch South Adelaide play every game live, anywhere, anytime with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
And that's just the start the Tigers were after that first goal of the third quarter. And just a 50-50 free kick. Sometimes they go with you, Chris. Sometimes they go against you. That time it went for the Tigers. And Hosey, as you mentioned, kicked 3 behinds, kicked his first goal of this game and of the quarter, giving the Tigers a nice start.
Absolutely. Plenty of spirited discussion in the crowd in front of us about that umpiring decision too. So that's something for Shane Harris to ponder at some point, possibly. Bryce Gibbs gets it off now towards Sampson, running through the centre of Flinders University Stadium. Puts him up again in towards attack South Adelaide. Geez, strong mark taken at the back there by Curran.
Reads the ball well, doesn't he?
Yeah, doesn't he? Another man who does is Bradley at half back. Bradley calling for teammates to come to him. He's
going to come back.
Yeah,
now.
he thought about the switch, didn't he? But he's going to bring it out now towards Reynolds, who's looking to get into the game. Hanneth at the front of the pack. Trying to work there is Klasky in the contested situation. Brings it out now where it is with Reynolds. Glenelg. Fly here for Lonergan. Great mark! Fantastic grab. Had his name written all over that.
Yeah, poor old Brady Searle just had to stand there and cop it, unfortunately. Had the knee right in the back.
He's got a couple behind him if he wants to switch, but he now he's committed himself to going forwards. Had to be precise and does now towards Haran. Haven't called him too many times today. And half-back grandstand side.
Well, I think he's got the job on Reynolds, so he's probably doing that pretty nicely. Hasn't had much of the footy, though.
Now, at the end of the day, if you get 2 kicks, doesn't matter if your opponent only gets 1.
Yep.
Plays down the lines. Cross. Looking for a favourable bounce, and he gets it. Tries to get away from Turner. Coughed it up now towards Proud. Working at the back half, Agnew. They've got some run now, the Tigers. Going up towards Longish half forward. Great mark there from Hosey, who's going to wheel around. He's going to go for a shot himself. Is he from 50? Closes. Does he get his second for the quarter? He sure does.
Watch the Bays play every game live, anywhere, anytime, with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
And a really good start to the Tigers in this third quarter. Hosey kicking his second goal within the space of a couple of minutes. And he's a hard match-up, Hosey, Chris, because he's sort of that 6'2", but he can play small and he can play tall, and he's a great set of hands. He basically took that mark, hit the ground running, and I think initially he was looking for someone to kick it to, but he's decided in the end, I'm going to have a go at this from 50 metres out. Great goal.
Owns the situation, reaps the reward. Snook gets it away from the stoppage. Up the lap there of Klusky, who's working his way into the contest now, the young man. Hosey's on a lead into the pocket. Klusky does go in towards that direction, looking for McBean up the back. Punch came in. Broadbent at the fall of the ball. He's wrapped up in a tackle straight away. Haran. The ball's just going to exit the defensive 50.
Oh,
strong mark by Kapler.
Yep.
So you wound the clock back 25 years there when you saw that, nearly 30. My goodness, I'm showing my age. I remember both the Kaplers. Then again, the man next to me played to them, so who else is showing their age?
You're near on 40. That's how...
Goodness me, I am feeling old. Thanks, Koff K-Lotto. Goes out towards the outer side, where he's got Gibbs. Just chips over the top. Now it's with Schwartz.
They keep moving, the Panthers.
They do. Saw something light at the top of the 50 and honoured that, and it's in the laps now of Fit. Now...
He's confident with the distance here. He wants to go back. They need a steadier here, South Adelaide, because they wouldn't want this sort of margin to get out any more than what it is going into the last quarter.
Liam Fitt has only been goalless once this season, round 4 against Sturt. 10-6 for the season. Crosses the 50. 10-7 for the season, minus score 6-6-42. 18-point margin, Glenelg 9-6-60. That's his second for the quarter. Behind that is...
Yeah, had the distance okay, didn't he?
He did.
He knew his range.
Glenelg. Out towards the centre. Pinks in the van. Punch came on the top there from McBean. Rose meets it. Goes there on hands and knees. Cut off there by Bailey. Ball just comes smothering out. Clucky's trying to work it out to the advantage here of Reynolds. Seemed a long way down for him. Milsom just works it away from the stoppage. Into the lap there of Martini, however. Going to have to try and work his way around the K-Lotto issue. Does cleverly initially, and then decides to bring the crowd into it with the possession. So out of bounds on the full. Very underrated, Martini. He's never going to get 30 possessions back there or anything, but he does his job. Oh,
he was a good junior, played state under-18s footy, and maybe just took him, maybe about 18 months to really, get into that senior team and start playing some really good footy, but he's really consolidating himself now across half-back.
Certainly has a real key cog of the Tigers' defence. Currently leading by 18 points at the 7.5-minute mark. Chris Kindle and Grant Coffey bringing you all around 7. SANFL statewide Super League action here on the digital pass. Throw in.
Right in front of that hill, which is completely packed with people.
Looks fantastic. I wouldn't mind if one of them ran us down a drink at some point. Of the non-alcoholic variety, we're still on the clock. Boundary throw in. Mind you, once that siren goes, I'll tell you what, a Cooper's does sound tempting. Or a West End. I've got to be careful. I don't want to breach too many commercial arrangements for the SANFL with this throw-in. So we said off air the opening 10 minutes was going to tell a real tale of this game, and so far Glenelg have responded early. Partington tries to work his way through, but Schwartz is having none of that. Neither's Gibbs. Ball up. Very ambitious South fan declares that's holding the ball in front of us. Oh, goodness, the interpretation has changed. Gibbs works it away from the stoppage straight to the lap there of Martini. You talk a man up and he delivers. Crosses out towards the opposite defensive side. Just waiting now for something to present. They go back to go
kick
forward. It is to Newman, who just takes it. He's got Bradley calling for it long. Now he's had to be pretty precise with it. Didn't need an unkind bounce. Trying to work through there.
Oh, that was well done by both players on that occasion.
Absolutely.
Martini went at it, and Kapler was pretty slight, really. Only a young guy. He went hard at it as well.
Martini shaken, not stirred at the back there, fortunately. Throw in. Still that 18-point margin. Hanneth worked his way to the front. Slips through Gibbs' fingers initially. Goes back in there a second time and emerges with the pill. Milsom. Ball's in dispute here at centre half forward. Haran off towards Schwartz. Kick's been partly smothered. Ball's just bowling around here. Pink going for it. Knocked out a teammate in doing so. Ball still in dispute here at the top of the 50. Bradley, Bailey. Now they're trying to work it away. Partington, Bradley again. Looping handball over the top, search for and found Martini out with Curran. That was all by hand. Curran's going to break that with a kick back to Proud in the defensive half. Goes back now. So Durden just looking for something he likes up the ground. South are corralling the numbers well at the moment. Goes out. It's with Allen. Yeah, already marked that. Yeah. Not too much disagreement from the South fans on that one. Brings it back towards Virgin. They're still on the back half. South Adelaide doing their due diligence at the moment just to keep them back there. Wait for a turnover to be effected. Chip over the top finds Proud. Gone about 6 possessions and haven't left the 50 yet. Now he's going to bring it out towards Hosey. Big fly! Oh, got to pay that umpire.
He's paid it.
Wonderful grab. So, now he's just got to wait for teammates to go back and present. Pink is the next man in line and takes it. Now, got to move it on quickly. He's got a couple of one-on-ones and there's mismatches in the forward 50 for Glenelg. Puts up now towards centre half forward. Numbers fly. Haynes arrives at the fall of the ball. Gets the support there from young Kapler, who just wheels it away. Martini. Matter of fact, that was Roberts, not Kapler. Proud just hacks it straight back in. Top of the 50, strong up by Skinner.
25.
And 25.
Yep.
Bit clumsy.
That's a
Skinner,
dangerous
he
kick.
showed plenty of it to Martini, who obliges and pokes it up now towards Reynolds, who's going to get his first real shot at the goals for the day.
Yep.
No, he's not. He's going to chip it over the top where he saw something he liked further afield. Tigers are going to stroll in and nail home the goal. Back out to a 24-point margin now for Glenelg.
What a day. Gotta sweat it out. Let the pressure out. Push on. Come on. Tomorrow, bring it on. Eye on full
Unselfish
hydration.
work there by
Powerade.
Luke Reynolds. Gave it off to his teammate Brett Turner, kicking his first goal of the game. We mentioned him during the halftime summary, Chris. Turner's been really busy through the midfield, but on that occasion, he's resting up forward. And good work by Reynolds to give the ball off. And Martini in the play once again. He was the player who chopped it off. Just strong at the footy and just made something out of nothing. The kick from South Adelaide was just to that sort of 50-50 contest, and the Tigers made South Adelaide pay.
In the premiership quarter, Glenelg have responded. McBean just worried out of it. Horn works it away from the stoppage. Goes up now towards half forwards. That man again, Martini.
Yeah, playing a good game.
He is. You've got the SANFL digital pass votes, Coff. I hope you're keeping a note of that one.
Got them all done.
Good man. Works out to the back half. Pink leading in the race for ball. It's going to elude him, go out of bounds, and be brought back in now by Summerton. He's going to square it in now towards Haynes. Kapler Callings will be the next link in the chain, but Haynes is going to go short. He's looking to hold possession at the moment now, South Adelaide. Flirting with going back towards Haynes. He's going to go forward is Rose. So he kicked it to a bit of a mismatch there. South Adelaide building the numbers there. Cross was appealing for the free as he was in the play. Ball up. Hanath does his own work at the stoppage also. Ball comes smothering out. South cut off there well by Agnew.
Yeah, good inclusion today, Brad Agnew.
Certainly is. Virgin. Looping handball over the top. Allen. Now it's McBean. Slowish build-up.
Some worrying signs, though, for South Adelaide, because the Tigers are just opening this game up a bit here, just with their quick hands, use of the footy.
Last 4 or 5 minutes have been largely on their terms entirely. And, just punched out of the hands there of Hosey. Landed straight in the lap there of young Klusky, and he gets his first for the day.
Do you stay in or get out? Remain in your vehicle until help arrives. You'll be shocked by what you don't
Great
know.
work by the Tigers once again and young Jack Klusky, but unfortunately for the Tigers, looks like Hosey has done his hamstring here in that contest. He was I think he sort of went to stop quickly in that marking contest, and he's done his left hamstring, so bad news for the Tigers, and that looks like it might be a 3 or 4 weeker, Chris.
Very bad news indeed for Glenelg. Just they've got out to a game-high 30-point margin at the 15-minute mark. No, South are down a rotation. If he just joined us, Eamon Wilkinson went off early in the second term, and we haven't seen him since. Hannaf's the man that's going to go up into attack. Not known for his goal kicking, Jack Hannaf. Kicks one roughly every 4 matches.
He's not a bad kick shot on goal. Got a good action.
5th in the league for hit-outs going into today also. McBean. Cross. He's wrapped up straight away on a tackle there by Partington. Plenty of Magarey medals in that contest. Schwarz. Try to work his way through, but Searle, who I've liked on debut, wraps him up. Ball up. Umpire's looking for a bit of room to play his trade. McBean. Schwarz. Ridden into the back. Umpire saw that one. No, he didn't. Ball up. So South now staring down a 30-point margin halfway through this third quarter. Plenty of numbers at the fall of the ball. Roberts in there. Umpire circles, ball up.
They just don't seem to be able to find enough winners in the forward half, South Adelaide, unfortunately. They've the Tigers are just starting to get on top down there.
Cross just hacks it in towards attack. Curran at the back of the pack. Proud. Now, trying to work it out. Agnew, Martini. Oh, gee, twisted and turned straight back into a contest.
Yep, holding the ball.
You take on one, you'll get away with it. Two, you won't. And the Panthers will get the free. It's probably Martini's only mistake, really, of the day.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he tried to take the tackle on. He's got a strong body on him. Thought he could break the tackle, but the umpire saw it as holding the ball. Sam Overall will have the shot on goal. And they've had a lot of shots like this, South Adelaide today, sort of deep in the pocket, and haven't been able to convert as they would have liked. But they need this one. This is a must-have.
Kicked his first for the season in the second quarter. And doesn't add to that tally. Minor score 6-7 43 South Adelaide. Glenelg 11-6 72. 29-point margin, 17 gone. So Glenelg just starting to put the foot down now. Let's see how South respond. Raking kick straight on the lap there of Bradley. Martini. Virgin.
Good pick-up.
Very clever pick-up with the one hand. Scooted inboard. Reynolds takes the strong contested mark there against Rose. No mean feat. He started to have a few moments in this last 10 minutes or so.
He's starting to work his way in.
Yeah, he brings it inboard towards Snook. Top of the 50, just outside his range, I feel. So does he. He's going to put it up now towards McBean. Too big and too strong. And just had too much room to move.
Yeah, that's where South Adelaide, they need someone to sort of get into that hole there, because you know with all their targets there, they're going to sort of see if they can sort of, lead out straight in front of goal, and that's really what happened there with Liam McBean. He's been kicking the ball pretty well today. He's kicked 2 goals. They were both in the first quarter, and this one here should be a pretty easy one for him.
It was a game-high 30-point margin 4 minutes ago. We'll at least equal it. We'll get it out to 35. Bang. 3 for McBean, 12 for Glenelg, 35-point margin.
Just stay inside, mate.
How close is too close? Stay 10 metres away from downed power lines. You'll be shocked.
Another good goal there by Liam McBean. His third goal, and Luke Reynolds, as you mentioned, Chris, just starting to find his way into the game. And even though he's not kicking any goals, when he gets the footy, you could see there he passed the ball off really nicely, and he also got that goal assist earlier in the quarter to Brett Turner. So if he's not kicking goals, he can set up the play, so he's starting to work his way into the game.
Very dangerous with such precise disposal by foot too.
Yeah, beautiful left foot kick.
Gibbs, cross. Up now towards half forward. Oh, strong, almost taken. Is it going to be paid to Curran? No, it's not. All just comes smuggling out. Glenelg again trying to work it out of this back half. Oh,
I think with South Adelaide at the moment, they're just blazing away. They're just putting it on top of Nobes' head all the time. And he's up against 3 guys. They need to sort of go in there with a bit more precision, see if they can get someone on the lead, find a bit of space.
You almost wonder if they need to go a bit smaller as Motlop finds Snook and goes out to Allen.
I think it's been pretty hard for them with Wilkinson off. They're probably limited with, what options they can throw up there at the moment.
True. That was a bit errant there from Snook, and Sampson will be the man to bring it back in as it was out of bounds. Bogle just takes it on his knees. Only just outside the defensive 50, mind you. Broadbent's calling for it in the defensive 50. Bogle saying, no, matey, I want to go along down this side. Got a bit of air. Overall flew for it, couldn't bring it to ground. Throw in. 35-point margin as we enter time on here on the SANFL Digital Pass with Chris Kendall and Grant Coffey. So if Glenelg do get another one, Coffey, it gets really dangerous for Gerard Wright's men.
South would like at least one, keep Glenelg goalless before three-quarter time.
Teams don't stay undefeated this long without a real bit of class, and that's what Glenelg is showing right now. Rose, the defensive side of the stoppage. So there's numbers everywhere down there, knocked out of Proud's hands. The pack develops, now the ball up. Bogle the man to get on the bottom of that pack. Throw up. Tap down. Horn. Just handballs to the advantage now of Bogle. He's going to go on hands and knees. Was he taken into the turf or was he held? Either or. It's going to be a free. He felt the contact coming off and just dropped the knees at the last moment.
Yeah, they just needed to be a bit smarter with the tackle there because he'd sort of fumbled the ball. The ball had come to ground. They just needed to hold the ball up there, the Tigers, but they were too vigorous in the tackle, got into his back, and he'll have a shot on goal. But once again, they're deep in the pocket, South Adelaide, so the percentages are low.
Seem to have had a lot of them from out this region. Bogle, 1 goal this season. No behinds. 45 out.
Yeah, and that's where it's gone.
Yep. At least he hasn't got a behind from it, so he maintains that record. Unfortunately, it's out on the full. So Tigers to bring it back in again. Go again out towards Martini. Gee, he's been really good today.
Yeah, he has been. It's the best I've seen him, I think, today.
Looks to go back now towards Curran. I think they're just going to play possession footy now for the next 30 to 45 seconds just to get the game maintained on their terms. Yep, certainly was. From young Skinner. Just going to work through. Matter of fact, that's Horn, my apologies. Horn works his way around. Up and towards attack again. It's another fairly haphazard attack. Bogle just went through his fingers, goes back in there on hands and knees. He's wrapped up in a tackle straight away. Won't be coming out of that in a great hurry either. Ball up.
Yeah, it's a bit of the same, isn't it? They're just kicking long to the, the 25 to 30 metres out from goal, and everyone's sort of congregating around. They need to provide some leading options, South Adelaide.
Hanneth tries to work out of the stoppage through Allen. Goes up now towards centre wing. Plenty of numbers back here for South Adelaide, so they should be able to work it away. I think good tackling there from Pink on Summit just to see it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
He's going to get the, I think he handballed the footy, so last touched.
Yep.
So Pink will receive the free kick.
Not big on possession, but has had an impact. Goes up now towards McBean, just landed straight in his lap.
Too big.
He's going to wheel around. He's got a couple of options for it. The first of those will be Partington. If it sits up for him and it does not, bounces through. Rushed by young Horn for a minor score.
And good work by Horn. He just had the ball up there in the half-forward line and now pushing back deep in defence. And when he goes to the next level, that's what he'll have to do. Have to run forward and back. So good work by the youngster.
Absolutely. Enjoy him while you can, folks. You won't see him fairly soon. Aaron Haynes still in the back 50. South Adelaide have been very stop-start this term. They're up towards... big fly from Tarka. Couldn't bring it to ground. Durden goes in there.
That could have been one of the marks of the century, that one, if he brought that down.
Hanneth, Snook, Agnew. Pops it up now towards the lap of Horn. Strong mark in defence. You love seeing the birth of a young champion, and that's what we're seeing in this last season and a half from him, Sampson. Now it's with Schwarz in plenty of space. If he can get a kind bounce, he gets neither. South Adelaide just look to try and hack it forward. Goes through Curran's fingers, but he's got time, space and composure to recover, or he now gets it with Turner at half-back.
He plays it well, Curran. He just played 5 metres in front of his man there, so when the quick kick came forward, he just chopped it off straight away.
Sneak wrapped up in a tackle. Partington cruises by in support, though. Looking up there for McBean. No, not through from minor score. Good defence again from South Adelaide, and they're starting to see an awful lot of it down there, the South defenders.
Yeah, Summerton there. He's been under pressure down there. A lot of footy coming in there, but did well on that occasion.
Did indeed. Haynes. Still 25 out from defensive goal. And they're still just looking to hold this possession at the moment, South, because the dam wall is starting to really creak. Lonergan. Wonderful mark earlier on. Feet there of Broadbent. Haran. It's a very shortish 25, but he did find Summerton. Goes back now towards Haran. You can see what they're trying to do, Koff, but I tell you what, every short pass just brings Glenelg a little bit further up to cause the turnover at half-back. Haynes. And this is a dangerous part of the ground. Big turnover, holding the ball. Turner looks to bring it inboard, and now it's with Partington in front. Great tackle there from Pink.
Yeah, good work there by the Tigers once again. Their defensive work's been really good to hold the ball inside that forward 50. And as you mentioned, Pink, he's had a bit of an influence. Doesn't get big numbers, but just there, the defensive effort, just one tackle, but now that could result in a goal.
It'll be Bradley lining up, not Partington, my apologies. Bradley, 2 straight for the season. Had 20 touches the last time these teams met in round 9 last year. Just to get it out to 43.
Likes it.
Big quarter now from South Adelaide. They have banged on 6 goals. South Adelaide have not kicked a goal all quarter, and we are now out to a 43-point margin with Bradley's first. Yeah,
and Bradley been such an important player, former skipper of the Tigers, and first goal of the game. But come finals time, he's going to be one of their most vital players for the Tigers. But they've got some real leaders in this side. We mentioned Curran today, and Proud been really good in defence. Curran, Chris, is right up there in the voting today, you would think, the way he's been playing really well. But the Tigers, they're just starting to open this game up, aren't they? The South Adelaide team, they look like they've just lost a bit of momentum in this second half.
They have. They've really stopped to a walk. Plenty of credit must go to Brett Hand too, because he had to come in relatively late in the pieces from a coaching perspective. And he's picked up seamlessly where Mark Stone left off. Ball's in dispute out here at half-back now for South Adelaide. Sampson has to try and work his way around the Partington issue. Cross. They've caused the turnover now. Now it's going to be with Partington. He's going to close to 40, and he's going to miss. Minor score. 13-9-87 premature evaluation. CK South Adelaide 6-7-43, 44-point margin. As South, Broadbent takes the strong mark. Certainly hasn't been their worst today. A couple of voices calling over the top. First of those is Milsom, the young flaggies lad. Looks to poke it up the lines where he gets the lead up now from Skinner, who's gone into attack. Goes up the line towards centre half forward. Bogle just hacked it in towards the forward 50 more than in hope than anticipation, and straight into the chest there of Virgin. Now it's with Pink. Takes it at half back. Not with a huge degree of urgency, it must be said. Allen.
Just happy to run the clock down coming into 3/4 time.
Absolutely. And Allen will be very experienced with this sort of thing. 5 years with West Coast. Keeps it again on that outer side as the siren sounds. 3/4 time. A quarter owned there by Glenelg. 6 goals, 3 for the term. 3 behinds to South Adelaide. Glenelg. Goal scorers. McBean has 3, 2 to Hosey and Klusky and Bailey. Singles to Motlop, Allen, Turner and Pink. And for South Adelaide, Tarka has 2 singles to Gibbs, Overall, Cross and Nobes.
Yeah, really good quarter there by the Tigers. Got control of this game. South Adelaide are going to need something very special in this last quarter. They've got a bit of a breeze. Let's see what happens.
3/4 time here at Flinders University Stadium. We'll bring you all of the final quarter action after the break here on the SANFL Digital Pass. He's in the backyard to Whelan over the lemon tree.
No, I was a Central supporter all the way through, so I would have had John Duckworth and even prior to that, big Gary Jones, who was an old full forward in the 70s for the Dogs.
Speaking of stars from the 70s and 80s, I can see Peter Carey walking in front of us down there, an absolute legend of SANFL and of Glenelg Football Club.
And the captain wearing the number 5 Guernsey now for the Tigers.
He's been fantastic today. He's had plenty of teammates. The gauntlet's been thrown down well and truly to South Adelaide, trailing by 44 points at the last change. Decisive tap there from Hannah, but it was straight to Haynes. He puts South Adelaide up towards a longish half forward. Ball comes out now towards the target direction. Was he taken high there? Oh, almost holding the ball there against the Tigers. Ball's in dispute here. Was that a push in the back? Yes, it was.
I was just watching Tarka behind play. I'm not sure he didn't run into Nobes there and sort of hurt his arm. I think he's up now, which is good. Bit of friendly fire.
I reckon if you ran into Big Danny Nobes, you'd feel it for a while. Callum Park to take the relieving free for Glenelg out of the back pocket. Brings it now towards this grandstand side, right in front of your commentary position. Harron had his hands written all over that for a long time and gets paid the mark. Now they need an early one, South Adelaide. He senses that. Moves the ball up towards the hot spot. Curran been so good at the bottom of the pack all day. Park. Now he's going to work out of the back half through Durden. Plenty of numbers here for South G. Going for the punch there when you would have thought that to take the mark would have been the better way of doing it against Lonergan, but throw in.
That last forward entry sort of sums up South Adelaide's play today. They've just kicked to that contest the whole day. It really hasn't worked out for them. They just need to lower their eyes, just see if they can find someone sort of just inside forward 50, just a bit more of a shallow kick.
Throw in. Slips through. Fingers there of Schwarz. Snook going on hands and knees. Tries to shovel it out and finds Curran. Virgin. Now working off the half-back line is Newman. It's up now towards a 2-on-1 contest. Numbers here are with South Adelaide. Mark taken there by Lonergan. Brings it in board. Now it's with Kaylotto. Centre wing. Grandstand side. His team trailing by 44 points. Nobes calling for it in the 50, but Glenelg are dropping plenty of numbers back. So it's going to go into a contested situation. Horn at the front of the pack almost brought it to ground. Now it comes out towards Curran, who received it from Newman. Squares it in board now towards Snook. Newman. Park. Again with a disputed situation. Someone just managed to get the fist in just in time. Will come smuggling out the back and towards the Summerton direction. Kay Lotto. He's wrapped up in a tackle there straight away by Pinkham. Will not be going anywhere in a great hurry. Ball up.
He sort of just put the head down and tried to barge his way through there, but Pink just held him up in the tackle. Good work by both players.
Pink certainly showing the benefit of being on Sydney's list there for a few years. He's really bulked up from when he was last in the SANFL. Of course, kicked that behind after the siren.
Famous behind.
Indeed. One of the more famous ones since Tony Lockett all those years ago.
I couldn't work out why all those North Adelaide players were standing 5 metres back from the line that day. I just could not work that out.
As Grant Coffey makes notes for his coach's folder. But he steps back into the coach's box, which I'm sure will be sooner rather than later. Hannah back of the stoppage. Now it comes out now towards Gibbs. He's dropped out of the game a little bit after a busy first term. Pokes him up again into her. Oh, South Glenelg back here. Taking it there was Durden.
He still had a lot of the footy, Gibbs, but early on he was vital for the South Adelaide team when they were up and about.
Oh,
that's a good mark.
Great mark taken down there, wasn't it, by young Reynolds?
Sort of just hovered in the air on that one.
He did. It was like time had stopped. 44-point margin.
He was quiet in the first half, but he's really worked his way into the game in the second half.
Might have had a bit of a rev, you would suspect, from the coach.
Maybe.
Still.
I'm not sure if they still do that.
No, it's a bit different back in your day with Neil Curley, no doubt. That's what side centre wing. I don't know how Curls would go in the current era. Ball's in dispute. South just trying to work it out through Haynes. Crossers in the van. Now they've got number 3 at the bottom of the pack. Carlotta gets it off towards some range support. Pokes it up now in towards the Skinner direction. Lovely pass here from Bogle. Skinner's just looking to wheel around. Glenelg are dropping plenty of numbers back here and at the stoppage, but Horn takes a wonderful mark.
That is a class mark, that one.
Oh, I love watching this sort of stuff from young blokes, and I remember one of his teammates, number 2, was doing exactly the same thing about 15 years ago.
He actually got a ride from the guy behind him. He sort of jumped up and was just about on his legs to get a bit of a push-up. So really good mark, that one.
Let's see how he goes. Stuttering approach. Gets it back to 38 points with his first goal of the day.
Watch South Adelaide play every game live, anywhere, anytime with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
And Jason Horn there kicking his first goal of the game, and the first one for South Adelaide in this last quarter. A lot of talk about young Horn being one of the top picks this year, Chris, so that'll be interesting to see how high he goes and where he goes, but he's got a big future ahead of him, no doubt about that. Can really play.
Absolutely. He's got shades of Isaac Heaney to him the way that he plays the game. Can play that tall, small forward role, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Working into the stoppage initially there. Cross. Jarek just about dropped that cold. Snook. Well, didn't quite hear fit coming from behind. Did affect the kick, but it's still up at half forward now for Glenelg. Partington just hacks it into attack. Punch comes in over the top there for the Panthers. Pink leading in the race for the ball for the Tigers. Needs some support. But he's been given the free because something just landed on his back.
This is about the distance he kicked the famous point, Chris.
It is. He was right in front there.
He was right in front on that one, yeah.
But he has kicked a goal today. 2 goals, 4 for the season so far. Let's see how he goes. Pink comes in at 50. He has put a lot on that. I tell you what, just only just short, knocked through for a minor score. Back to a 39-point margin at the 6-minute mark. 6.5. Broadbent. Looks to go long and direct down the middle. Not out of Overall's hands. Virgin. Now it comes out. It's taken there by Young Park. He switches back into the defensive half. It's with Curran. Allen. Careful and precise build-up now for the Tigers. It goes back into the centre
It's a dangerous kick,
of Flinders University Stadium, but Virgin repaid the faith.
There's a bit of an opportunity here because Glenelg look like they're just trying to run the clock down. They're just trying to play the game out. If South Adelaide can just play some attacking footy, just never know what could happen.
Couldn't agree more, Koff. I was just thinking then it's very early to run the clock down at the 7-minute mark, no matter what your margin is. Goes up into attack now. Summerton got the tap in. South just try to hack it out of the back half, but it's only as far as Allen. Who liked something he saw at the top of the 50. It was to the feet there of Curran, unfortunately.
Oh, that was well done by Overall.
Certainly was. Overall just about sat on there by Hanneth. No one's really trying to get rid of it with any enormous conviction. And the man at the bottom of the pack is going to be one who loses the war, and Hanneth will emerge with the ball. Now, it's much to the chagrin of the South Adelaide fans in front of us, but you can't just sit over the football like that and not make any attempt really to get rid of it. Now, Hanneth, this isn't absolutely beyond him, and his teammates are suggesting for him to go for it.
Yeah, he's a big long kick. He'll make the distance.
It comes in. He'll be kicking from 55.
Oh, no, he's gone the shorter one.
Just lays it up at the top.
That's a mark, no?
Lands in the lap there of Reynolds, who turns around and snaps it behind. So, 40-point margin at the 8.5-minute mark. South just need to move it on and move it on quickly, but Glenelg really look to have all the answers at the moment as it goes back into the centre of Flinders University Stadium. Skinner just worried out of it. Nobes try to tap it towards advantage. Now Fitz puts out the don't argue. Heard something you like going past. K Lotto. Well, he's going to have to go backwards to go forwards, and now it's with Tarka. Problem with all of this is it's giving Glenelg ample time to just drop numbers back in towards the defensive half.
Yeah, they've dropped plenty back too.
Lonergan. Broadbent. Just goes deep into the pocket.
Well
and he's put it straight onto the chest there of Cross. Now, is that going to be 25? Nope. Cross kicked a lovely goal there in the second term.
That was the better ball movement on that occasion by South Adelaide. They had to switch the play because Glenelg had all the numbers on this side. but then the kick wasn't just a blaze kick to the top of the square. They actually tried to find a teammate on that occasion. Joel Cross just moved into the hole and took a nice mark.
Looking for his second today.
Here we go.
Back to a 34-point margin, 9.5 gone, final term.
Watch the Bays play every game live, anywhere, anytime, with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
And South Adelaide, that's the goal they needed there. Joel Cross kicking goal number 2. So not only is he doing it in the midfield, he's pushing forward now and trying to make another marking target and a goal-kicking option for South Adelaide down there. And is it too late, Chris? There's still plenty of time left in this, probably another 15 to 17 minutes left in this game, so still plenty of time left.
Back in the centre, Penrith, Gibbs. They're working into the centre again now, South Adelaide, and it's under the lap of Tarka. Tarka's wheeling around, delivers a piercing pass in towards the overall direction. Nobes just bundling his opponent over the boundary line for a throw in. No, it's going to be a push in the back.
Oh, she's on here.
And Danny Nobes is on there. Michael Virgin. I'll tell you what, there's a few starting to come into it too. And it's going to be 25. Now that's the sort of stuff that will make Jared Wright very unhappy. I'll tell you what, there's a bit going on here too. Some of these guys want to be a bit careful. Don't want to find yourself at the tribunal. Play goes on around them. Partington off towards Bradley. Squares it back towards half back. Now it comes in towards Turner. Turner just wheels around. Spots up Allen. Both teams just really need to hold their fire a bit. Bradley. Proud. Just indicating he's just going to hold the game down a little bit now.
Haven't seen that for a long time, Chris. The whole stand was up watching because it was all happening right in front of the grandstand. Oh, that was quite funny.
Yeah, it certainly was. In the midst of all this, Glenelg still looking to go up in towards attack, but it's cut off well in defence here for South. They look to just cross it out towards the opposing half-back. Need a kind bounce and get it.
Oh, good kick.
That's
here they
lovely
go.
kick down towards Bogle. Now this is going to be the critical one.
Need to keep going here. Oh, Gibbs has lost
Gibbs
a handle
has lost
on
it. Now Gibbs is going to have to just chip it over the top. Overall's going to have to run backwards with the flight of it. They're going to have to try and worry their Glenelg opponent out of it. Work it out between them now. Fit. Overall. Gee, he's in a real pickle here. Going to try and square it up. No, gee, they absolutely... Yeah, there's a few words you can use to describe it, but none of them will pass broadcasting standards, Alan.
I think Bryce Gibbs he's going off for a rest now. I don't think he had any run left in his legs.
No, and really seemed to be running on the spot, didn't he? Reynolds receives it from Allen. 34-point margin, 12.5 gone. You sense that Glenelg's experience has come into the fore now. They've withstood a challenging 3 or 4 minutes from South Adelaide. Pink goes for the fly, couldn't quite bring it to the ground. Throw in.
Yeah, they should have made something better than that, South Adelaide. That was a golden opportunity missed there.
I was calling a game here 5 years ago where South Adelaide were down by about 40 points at three-quarter time against Adelaide and got up on the last kick of the day. And I must admit, I did wonder at times if we were going to flirt with that again, but their experience just comes to the fore. Jason Horn's got a bit to say about that.
Yeah, he's getting his hands on the footy now.
Isn't he just? Tarka, that was clever. Knew he couldn't mark it, but tried to just punch it out of his opponent's hands. Horn. Now it's with Milsom. Pokes up now towards half forward. Ball needs to sit up. The only man who really went for it was Allen, and he might get rewarded with this. No, Glenelg. South Adelaide on the counter-attack. Haynes dispossessed.
Yeah.
Certainly is. Klusky announcing he's going to not take the advantage. And goes back to Bradley.
He was the only South Adelaide player, though, Joey Haynes, that actually wanted the footy there, but unfortunately he had 3 Tigers there ready to tackle him.
Unfortunately, in the Lords of the Jungle will say when you've got 3 Tigers onto a Panther, it doesn't matter how strong the Panther is, they're going to win out most times. Broadbent cuts it off. Milsom. Still the defensive half of the centre square. Now it's with Haynes.
They've got no options to kick to here. They have to go long again.
2-on-1 there for Nobes. He's gotten rid of one.
He's got it!
Takes a great mark. That was just so clever. As I mentioned, he got rid of the first opponent, had to hold his ground and takes the mark.
He's a big man, and you can see why he's kicked so many goals at the country level, because he's just 200 centimetres. He is just got a great set of hands on him. He was up against 2 and beat them both.
The way he marks in that situation, he reminds me of Rick Davies in the years when he went to full forward in the 80s.
He's kicked it.
28-point margin. Nobes has 2.
What a day. Gotta sweat it out. Let the pressure out. Push on. Come on. Tomorrow, bring it on. Ion 4 hydration. Powerade.
And South Adelaide just get that little bit closer, but there's nothing better when you've got a big crowd at the footy than full forwards marking and kicking goals. It's, it's something great in our game, the big old forward. I love to see it at both ends. I don't care if it's Glenelg or South Adelaide, but it's great to see Nobes taking that big mark.
You loved to be part of it back in the 80s, Coffin. You were the man bringing them to their feet. No worries about that. Crosswork down to the centre just about. Was brought down in the last possession. Now Bailey tries to get it out. Shows some poise and shows some class and isolates Searle. Wheels around. Oh, he's kicked that straight into Schwarz's lap almost. Bounced just through his fingers. Milsom tries to just clear it away from the stoppage, but it's straight back to Searle. It goes up, long towards half forward. Turner's got a fair bit of time and space to recover. Chips it over the top where it's now with Motlop. He's been in the game in fits and starts, Motlop.
Yeah.
Uses it so well when he's got it.
But when you play half forward, it's a bit like that. You can come in and out of the game, and that's what's happened for him today. But he's just sort of taking a bit of time off the clock here, but he's probably not far from his distance, maybe just a bit.
If he nails this,
It's just
almost
top of the square.
Yep, indeed. Oh, couldn't quite bring around McBean. Tried to work his way through traffic. Searle just tries to snap it out of nothing. Certainly been far from the worst on debut. He showed a bit of poise, young Searle.
Yep.
And worked out of the back half now, South Adelaide. Time is becoming their enemy and they know it. Lands on lap there of Bogle. Underground handball was looking for Schwarz and finds him. Gibbs back towards Bogle. Chips over the top where it's with Overall. Knocked out of his fingers though. There's so many numbers at the contest it seems for Glenelg every single time there at the moment. Curran. Little underground kick. It's picked up by the Tigers. Get it off down towards Partington. On the lap there of Summit, and he does take the mark. Oh,
that's dangerous.
Joey Haynes, a bit of a task. A wheel around. They should capitalise on the turnover, the Tigers. Yes, they do. Game over. Glenelg will remain undefeated.
Do you stay in or get out? Remain in your vehicle until help arrives. You'll be shocked by what you don't know.
Luke Reynolds there, Chris, getting his first goal of the game, and you'd think it was the sealer, but once again, it was just a turnover to South Adelaide, really cost them on that occasion. They went backwards with the kick missed the target, Reynolds chopped it off, and he was good enough to get around and kick his first goal of the game. He's been good in the second half, had a quieter first half, Luke Reynolds, but it worked his way into the game nicely in the second half and finishes off with a nice goal.
Maintains that record along with Lockie Hosey of goaling in every match this season. Got one key forward that does it, it's pretty good. When you've got two, it's very handy.
Yep.
Back in the centre. You reckon that shut the door now on South Adelaide pretty much? But with this time, there's hope. They won't want too many contests like that, though, with nothing happening. Ball up. 34-point margin, 18.5 gone. Chris Kendall and Grant Coffey bringing you all the action here on Super SANFL Saturday. SANFL Digital Pass, any round, anywhere, anytime, folks. Wherever you are in Adelaide, South Australia or the world, will bring you all the action. Sampson just wheels it out of the 50. Pokes it up again in towards attack, but too many strong numbers back there for Glenelg. It's proud again. Now he gets it off towards Martini. Grant Coffey has the SANFL Digital Pass Player of the Year vote, so I've got a feeling Martini is in the mix at the moment, so to speak. Keeps it again on the outer side through Pink, who's just worked his way into the contest the longer it's gone. Now it's with Bailey. Started out well, dropped out a little bit, but now Haynes must think that it's been touched, is it? Or is it going to be 25? If it hasn't been touched, it's got to be 25. And it is. Yep. I'm not quite sure what happened with Haynes there. But anyway, this does bring Bailey to a slightly more dangerous part of the ground for Glenelg. Indicating he's just going to hold it up. When you're 34 points up, why wouldn't you?
He was one who really got them started early on in the game. Just his pressure inside the forward 50 was really good.
Certainly was. He just lays it up into towards the top of the square. South trying to pile numbers on top of things. Ball's in dispute in the square, ball up. Glenelg class really has come to the fore today. Then a lot of talk about who were the premiership favourites after this match. Well, you'd say Glenelg are firmly in there at the moment. They're not at the stage of printing T-shirts or anything like that yet, but they're certainly right up there as Broadbent coming off of the blood rule. South Adelaide won't lose too many admirers with this. But this is a very formidable Glenelg outfit. Make no question about that. Skinning coming back onto the ground to replace Broadbent. How have you seen Skinner's season so far, Coff? He's come over with big raps from Brisbane.
Yeah, I think he's had... I think he might have actually done his knee a couple of times in previous seasons. So I don't think he's played as much footy as what you think he has. So he'll take a bit of time. He'll get better and better.
35-point margin on that rush behind. And he's happy enough to see that over the boundary line there. Punch coming from the Tigers to knock it over. Right in front of that hill, which is still full to the brim. There are cars starting to leave. You do have to beat the traffic on the expressway, Coff. It is pretty busy down there. I can tell from first hand, living only 10 minutes down the road. I don't know what the traffic's going to be like at Seaford, but I'll take my chances later. Shores wrapped up there by Snook. Two of the contested beasts of the SANFL ball up. 21 and a half gone. Game just really starting to wind down now. Ball comes smothering out. Shores wrapped up again there by Snook. Ball up. You sense we may see a bit of this now for the remainder of the game.
A lot of tired players out there. No doubt about that.
It's been a very high-octane contest. There's no question about that. K-Lotto was just infringed in the marking contest. Especially
early on, there was actually a bit of sting in the sun when you were standing out there, so it would have been quite draining earlier in the game.
A little bit unnecessary there from Hannah. He just hurled it back into K-Lotto's solar plexus. Oh, it's the feet there of Bogle. And that actually kind of sums up how South Adelaide have been today. Almost there a few times, but not quite able to finish it. Snook, the man to bring it back in. He's been wonderful for the Tigers over 134 games. Loved watching him play.
He was at the crossroads there at Tigerland for a while, and there was some talk that he wasn't going to get too many more opportunities, and then all of a sudden he might have won the best and fairest the next year after that, so turned it right around.
Worked hard on his fitness, took his medicine, went back to the reserves for a while.
Yeah.
Took a few stern messages, and he's come out as one of the premier ball winners as McBean gets it down to Hannath. And right on cue, Matty Snook says, well, you're talking about me, chap, so I'll just work my way into the contest now. He's been very good all day. Right in front of the hill, which is still packed with fans from both teams.
I think all the beer's been sold.
Done. That was one reason I was wanting to stay back a bit longer. Now it's off towards Motlop, who should put an emphatic full stop on the contest.
Just stay inside, mate.
How close is too close? Stay 10 metres away from downed power lines. You'll be shocked by what you don't know.
And Marlon Motlop there kicking his second goal of the game. And for a half forward, you'd be pretty happy with that. A good day out, Chris. A nice couple of goals.
Certainly should be.
Yeah, you keep that up. Over 40 in a season, so...
10 goal scorers for Glenelg today and a total of 15. That says a lot, doesn't it? How well they share it around.
They're pretty even, aren't they? And they've got some good young blokes that they've brought into the side. You know, young Park playing on the wing as a junior that's come through. You know, Martini across half-back. So they've promoted some of their good juniors as well, which is really good to see.
Certainly have. Gibbs isolated Tarka. He just goes up towards the top of the 50. Nobes is calling for the free. I don't think he's going to get it. Cross, wrapped up by Martini. Two of the real tries for both teams all day. Ball up. So, 41-point margin. That's going to be a free, and it's going to be paid to the Panthers. Holding there, and it's going to be paid to Cross. A chance to get his third for the day. Cross has had an amazing record polling McGarry medal votes against Glenelg over the years. I don't think he'll get them today, but if he notches this, and I'd say the umpires remember him for the wrong reasons for that minor score. One of his few errors of the day, mind you. Margin back to 40. The 25.5-minute mark here on the SANFL Digital Pass. Chris Kendall and Grant Coffey. We're very proud to join the whole Digital Pass crew in bringing you the SANFL Statewide Super League 2021 season here. Any round, anywhere, anytime. We hope you've enjoyed today's telecast as Glenelg surge to the top of the ladder and get themselves a 2-game break. Strong mark taken there by Horn. Enjoy him while you can.
He's got better as the game's gone on, hasn't he?
He has. Rose goes up into attack, and it's just knocked over for a throw-in. Yeah, he really has. He's just growing with every week, this kid. So throw-in. We just come down to who's got the top 5 picks as to where he might end up. Might end up at Gold Coast, Goff. Throw-in.
Your team?
Indeed. I was only saying that with hope, not anticipation. Ball's in dispute. Wrapped up, ball up. And coming off the bottom of the tack there is Tarka, who's been pretty good today. He's made the most of opportunities. Kicked 2 wonderful goals. Nobes. Snook. Shovels it out to Virgin. Goes up now towards half back. Punch came in there from Summerton. Pink. Happy enough to see it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Crowds dispersing now, but they've seen a very honest contest between two very good teams. If South are second, what does that say about Glenelg, how good they are at the moment? Undefeated at the top. What a mouth-watering proposition for Glenelg fans. Partington wrapped up in a tackle by Schwarz. Ball up. There was an enormous drought for premierships. They got it in 2019. Could they get 2 in 3 seasons? Plenty of numbers around the ball. Enough. Oh, Horn just puts out the don't argue, works his way around. Oh, this is just beautiful to watch. Puts it up now towards the hot spot and lands straight in the lap there of young Newman at the back. Has been very good on debut. There's 2 Panthers down there, I reckon. I'll keep an eye on that. Yeah,
Skinner and Overall.
Goodness me, yep. Bradley. Pokes it up now towards Curran. Been exceptional today. Had plenty of mates back there in defence, mind you. Right on cue. Here's one of them, Virgin. Chips down the lines to Motlop, and that's the siren. Glenelg remain at the top of the SANFL 2021 Statewide Super League ladder, 15-12, 102, defeating South Adelaide 9-8-62, a 40-point margin. Grant Coffey.
Yeah, really good game of footy by the Tigers today. South Adelaide were in this game for a long time, but the second half, Glenelg really broke this game open. Just having a look at Sam Overall, he's a bit slow to get up. He's back to his feet now, which is really good news. But South Adelaide, they're going to